Linda Moulton Howe at Haviland, the largest abduction in history. What happened at the farm in Corguinhos, Mato Grosso do Sul, in 2002, was not just a contact. It was, in the words of award-winning journalist Linda Moulton Howe, the largest abduction in history. Imagine the scene: a man lying in his bed, reading a book, and the next instant, he passes through the ceiling as if the concrete were sponge, summoned by an intelligence from another world. Do you think you know the truth about extraterrestrial contact? Or has the system done everything to ensure you never saw the irrefutable proof of a molecular alteration in the fabric? The same technology used in the Shroud of Turin. This case is not just about an alien invitation. It's about a forced silence, about corruption in ufology that tried to silence a group that holds the key to 49 races. Prepare to see the proof that the world was never able to see. An emotional twist awaits, revealing the true reason for Linda Moulton Howe's visit to Brazil. If you're ready to uncover a secret that could bring down the system, leave your like now and continue with us on this journey of revelations. It was the night of September 15, 2002. Haviland Farm, today the Tequila Research Center, radiated the routine of a visionary but peaceful project. Yurandir Fernandez de Oliveira was in his room, in his simple farmhouse. Lying on his side, arms stretched out, he absorbed the pages of a book, the yellowish light from the lamp casting shadows on the brick wall. Suddenly, the silence is broken by an inexplicable tension. Olávio, Ronaveo, Yurandir's cousins and aunt were at the farm. Someone alerted, Yurandir is not where he said he would be. An icy premonition struck them. When something like this happens, you go there and see what happened, Yurandir had warned. They ran downstairs. The house was strangely silent. The television in the living room, however, remained on, spewing the monotony of nighttime programming, in a bizarre contrast to the drama unfolding. They called, shouted, but no one responded. The front door, locked. Panic. They broke down a back door, taking advantage of a hole. They entered the darkness. Yurandir's room was closed. The door gave way. The internal scene was profoundly shocking. The bed was empty. The blue blanket, partially crumpled, still held the shape of a body, the book fallen on the floor. But everyone's gaze was drawn upward. Look at the ceiling. Bizarre. Totally bizarre. On the masonry ceiling, above the bed, there was a burn mark, an acrid smell hanging in the air. A perfect vitrification, as if an incredibly powerful energy had projected from the mattress upward. Nothing like this exists in the world, one of them murmured. The mystery had become physical. Minutes later, Yurandir reappeared. His body seemed intact, but his mind was altered by an experience that defied physics. One of those present, intrigued, asked, "What's the sensation of passing through the wall?" Yurandir responded, in natural dialogue, "The body is like a sponge, a foam. It disintegrates. The ceiling seemed like foam, and I was passing through it." He described the density alteration, the sensation of his bones cracking. It was not a forced abduction. It was an invitation from Bailu, the extraterrestrial being who became the link between the group and a cosmic network. The objective, the exchange of knowledge. The most shocking part, however, was the explanation about the technology behind the event, the same that caused the mark on the ceiling. Yurandir revealed, the technology used here is a technology similar to what was used in the Shroud of Turin. The same technology of the 49 races. It was used here, and it was used back then in the Shroud of Turin. A statement that linked a contemporary abduction event to one of the greatest mysteries in religious history. Yurandir's case was about to explode, but the system had other plans. Before we proceed with Linda Moulton Howe's arrival and the laboratory evidence, have you subscribed to the channel? Don't miss the continuation of this saga. The news of the abduction and the technology linked to the Shroud of Turin soon reached the right ears. Linda Moulton Howe, an investigative journalist with 2 Emmy Awards, known for her seriousness and scientific rigor, decided to go to Haviland. Her official mission, to investigate the abduction case. Her method was relentless. She was not satisfied with the account. She wanted physical proof, the element of contrast. She took Urendir's sheets, one cotton, white, vitrified, and another polyester, blue, without alteration. In the laboratory, the verdict was bizarre. The vitrification on the cotton required an extremely high temperature that should have destroyed the polyester, which dissolves at much lower temperatures. But the polyester was intact. The conclusion of Howe's specialists was clear. It was a molecular alteration. There is no human technology to do this. What seemed like fiction was irrefutable science. She cut samples, took slides. Under the electron microscope, the horror became visible. Different fibers, unknown crystals, a mineral never seen in geology, the apatite crystal. While evidence of the abduction was being collected, a new phenomenon occurred at the farm, in another location called Rye, also in Mato Grosso do Sul. Stones were falling from the sky. Dozens of people, including the beloved Osvaldo and other group members, were there. The sound was like a light bombardment. The stones fell, some on fire, leaving marks on the ground. They collected dozens. They were dense, dark. The laboratory test revealed the most bizarre element. This stone does not have the element in the periodic table. An element unknown to Earth science. The contact was intensifying. At another moment, the beings present at Haviland gave a demonstration. In front of everyone, the being of light, Bailu, manifested. A ball of light the size of a basketball, the magnetoid, was in his hand. The density was totally different. He walked, but seemed to glide, almost floating, and a low and characteristic sound, cha-cha-cha-cha, accompanied the movement of his clothing. Oder, who would be the recipient of a magnetoid, got nervous and stood up, breaking the contact protocol, and the being changed direction. A lesson about the need for stillness and respect. If this story of undeniable evidence and direct contact with intelligences from 49 races moved you, give it a like now. Your interaction helps break the silence. Linda Moulton Howe took the sheets and stone samples to trusted laboratories in the United States. The analysis was conclusive. The phenomena were real and the technology involved was alien. However, the true reason for her trip was about to be revealed. The official conversation had ended. Linda requested a private meeting with Urendir. Knowing the importance of that moment, the team hid a camera. They recorded 6 hours of secret conversations, translated. In real time, the journalist asked a series of specific and sensitive questions. Urendir confirmed, she came for this. She didn't come to talk about the abduction. The abduction, with all its spectacular evidence, had been merely the being's artifice to corroborate the Tequila group and give credibility to Urendir and his associates. Linda Moulton Howe's true agenda was dimensional contact, the ethics of races, and the manipulation of realities. She came with a bunch of questions that had been told to her, for a person who had contact with ethical dimensional races. The complete content of the conversation is confidential, as it is very sensitive. The system did not want anyone to know that this Brazilian group held strategic information about the cosmos. Despite the scientific evidence and Howe's experience, something terrible happened. The award-winning and respected journalist never spoke about the Urendir case again. Why? She gave only a small presentation in Seattle, to a small ufology group. And what happened? Brazilian ufologist Gaverd, one of the biggest critics and slanderers of the Tequila group at the time, got on a plane and went there. He was threatening her, shouting in the middle of the lecture, not letting her speak. The contrast between injustice and truth was glaring. The system did not want the world's eyes to turn to Haviland. They did not want a group that had direct contact with these beings, that was learning about manipulations and realities, to have credibility with the population. Because if that happened, the next day, the system falls. Dramatic pause of 3 seconds, the media silence, the attack from traditional ufology. Everything was a smokescreen to hide the largest abduction in history, the one that brought proof of a molecular alteration identical to that of the Shroud of Turin. The proof was there. The justice of science had been done, but the injustice of the system had prevailed in silence. The truth, however, is stubborn. The evidence, kept in videos and trusted laboratories, has not disappeared. The mark on the ceiling, the footprints of the being that glided, and especially the 6 hours of secret conversation, are the testament that the contact is real. Yurandir Fernandez de Oliveira, Linda Moulton Howe, and the Tequila Group were the protagonists of a story that challenged science and censorship. They proved that Bailu's invitation was not just about a journey through the ceiling. It was an invitation for humanity's awakening. Redemption did not come through traditional media, but through persistence and tireless pursuit of truth. The story of Haviland, of the magnetoid, of the 49 races and the vitrified fabric is the legacy that our reality is much larger and more complex than we were made to believe. The truth cannot be silenced forever. If you were inspired by this story of courage and contact, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to receive more revelations like this, and click on the video that appears now on the screen to delve deeper into the details of the Rice Stones.